Are we live?
We're live.
Hey, Facebook world. Tuesday morning coffee. I'm pulling up my eyes are getting so bad that I'm having to pull up my Facebook here so I can see the questions. I want a lot of participation today. That was what was cool about last week. We got one viewer already, and I'm excited about that. Let's see here if I can get this pulled up. I'll try to give you some shout outs. Let me make sure I get this right. Hang on. We'll give time for other people to join us. Disconnecting. Sorry, guys. I just thought of this when I knew I couldn't read that. So, Bill Wilson joined. Jacob McGowan. What's up, big Jacob? Fine young man. Fine young man. Today, I'm going to give us a few more minutes, but hey, I want to encourage you guys. Today, we're going to be talking about the things that we can do to add value to our home. We're going to be talking about things that don't give a lot of value to our home. That's weird. I'm looking at my cell phone here, but I think I can see that. That's cool. We're going to be talking about, preparing a home for sale. What are some just absolute no-brainers that we must do that I promise you will be a good return on your investment. We'll talk about some things that are kind of iffy on things you can do, and we'll talk about things that, and everything I'm going to be talking about is geared to Rutherford County. In some markets, you can do, there's certain things you can do. For instance, if you're in Florida and you add, where everybody has a pool, you probably get more value for the pool there. But here, not so much, and we'll talk about that. But we're also going to have a great trivia question. If you stay on, we're going to give away $25 today. I've got a really good $25 gift certificate to Chop House. And who else do we have with us? Susan Garrett. Hey, Susan. Jeff Arnold. Hey, big guy. Went to school with Jeff. Done a little business with Jeff. Good man. John, do you know anything about the West Lawn Development near 840 and Veterans Parkway? I don't know much about that. I really don't. I know the commercial part of it was bought by some local guys, but I'm not sure exactly who bought the residential. I think it was out-of-state folks. Bill Wilson, tell us about Barfield Downs. Great new subdivision, all brick subdivision we have on Barfield Road, not too far from World Outreach Church. The best value in town, in the 250s, all brick, 2,300 square feet, incredible subdivision. We're selling them like hotcakes. Hey, John Jones, love that beard, you handsome thing. Woo, woo, woo. Cynthia Farmer, I love you. Carolyn Cook, my aunt, joining us from Dothan, Alabama. Awesome, man. We got 16 viewers now, and we're going to get started. And like I said, ask questions. I've got my great assistant over here, Meredith, who's going to help me answer some of those. But first, here's what we're going to talk about. I get a call every week, I promise you, without fail, sometimes multiple calls, from past clients or people, or maybe even friends, and they ask about, hey, John, if we do such and such, is that stupid? If we add a pool, or if we do a detached, or if we add hardwood in the great room, is that a dumb investment? And that's a tough question to answer, because there's a lot of other questions I have to ask before I can give them a good answer. And one of the things is, hey, where do you live? What subdivision are you in? What's the standard in the subdivision? Those kind of things. How long are you going to live there? What are you looking for? Because there's no right or wrong answer sometimes, especially when you get to personal values things. So I'm going to be talking a little bit about the do's and don'ts of what to do to your home. But really where I'm going to start it is I'm going to talk about some things that are like no-brainers if you're going to put your home on the market. Okay, we'll start with that, preparing your home for sale. And I'm going to use you a little example that's a real-life example of a subdivision I had in Indian Hills in the past, as a sale I had in the past year. And it was a situation where I was working with a couple whose father had passed away, and he had lived there since 2002. It was a new house in 2002. And he really hadn't done anything to the home since 2002. Of course, that had been about 12, 13 years. The house was a good house. It was in good shape. He maintained it well, but it didn't have a lot of, it still had some wallpaper in it. It had, colors were a little dated. Had a lot of brass doorknobs, door handles. It had brass light fixtures, Formica countertops, a lot of those kind of things. And carpet was worn, not awful, but needed new carpet. So we looked at that house a couple different ways. They said, John, if we sold this house as is today, what could we get for it? And at that time, I said probably around 185,000. It was about 2,200 square feet, Indian Hills, all brick, nice home, nice little fenced-in backyard. And I said, but if it was updated, with a few things, we could probably get 210 to 215. So that's a $25,000 to $30,000 swing. Now here's the question: how much were the things I was talking about? How much were they going to cost to do? And is that a good investment? If it was going to cost $25,000 to $30,000 to do those things, then we sell it at the 185. If it was going to cost about $10,000 or $15,000, then they could net another $15,000 to the estate, 10 to 15,000. That'd probably be a pretty good investment. So we looked at it, and it needed paint. The paint cost us $4,000. It needed some carpet. That cost us around $3,000. I suggested granite because the Formica was kind of dated looking Formica, so I said, let's just go with granite. Granite's become very economical, $2,500. Fixtures, and I'm talking about door hinges, doorknobs, and some light fixtures. We did that for $1,800. Changed out an appliance or two, $1,000, and we did some things on the landscaping, mulch, trimmed up. We spent about $1,000 outside, pressure cleaning. I'll throw pressure cleaning in there. So we spent $13,300. We got $215. We received an offer of $215 for the house. So it netted them a little bit over $15,000. A good investment. It took us about 60 days to get all the stuff done. That was a smart investment. They spent 15 to get another 30. That is when I think that's the stuff I kind of want to share with you today. And so when I'm going to talk about some things, but I'm going to use it as a general rule. So ask questions anytime. We'll try to answer them. But as a general rule, here's some things that I promise you will get a good return on your investment. And this is probably in any price range. Number one, the best thing you can do for your home on a day in, day out basis is maintain it. Maintain it. There's so many things when I go to get a home ready to sell is deferred maintenance. And people get all uptight about spending all this money on their home to get more money for their home. And it's all stuff they hadn't done in 15 years. They put it off. And I get that because I live in my home. And sometimes when you have kids and things like that, life kind of gets you. And you're like, man, I don't want to replace this carpet. They're just going to screw it up again. I get all that. But at the end of the day, most of the stuff I'm having people do are just deferred maintenance items. So I tell them to try to help them swallow the pill of spending the money to get more money. Hey, spread it out over the last 15 years you've lived there. And it won't look as bad. It'll help you justify it. Sometimes they can do that, sometimes they can't. But maintain your home's number one. Number two, paint. Paint is the most inexpensive thing you can do to your home that gives it the most bang for their buck. It makes your home look clean, new, fresh, updated. What do you see when you walk in a home more than anything else? You see walls. Okay, that's what the eye catches. So paint, number one. Number two, and a close second, is flooring. Whether it be new carpet, I cannot sell a home with nasty carpet. It's daggone impossible. And no, we can't do an allowance because people cannot see an allowance, but they can see the carpet. Okay, so you must change out your carpet if it needs changing out. And I've got great companies, great vendors that come in there and move your furniture for you. They're very reasonable in price. It's a one-stop shop. They come out there with their samples, and her name's Vicki Wheat with Right Rug. If you need your carpet, Right Rug, Vicki Wheat. Send me an email. I'll get your information. She's awesome. They even have some payment plans where you can pay, 12 months down the road, so we can, basically sell your house and you pay them when you sell your house, so you're not even out of money. Because that's another big hindrance on folks. They know they need to do all this stuff, but they don't have the money. All their equity is tied up in their house, so that can present some challenges sometimes. Door hardware. If you have the old brass knobs, hinges, for, depending on the size of your home, but let's say it's 2,000 square foot home, for $500 or $600, you can come change all that and totally like oil rub bronze or nickel, and boom, right there, the brass is out of there. You want all brass out in today's market. Light fixtures, same thing. Not a real expensive thing to do, but if you got the old 1995 brass chandeliers and breakfast nook chandeliers, things like that, get them out of there. You can go to Lowe's and get some really good looking stuff that will match your door hardware at a very reasonable price. Landscaping, new mulch, trim everything. If you have any plants or any foliage, trees that are overwhelming to the house, trim them back. Make everything look nice and neat. If you have decks that need to be pressure clean them. Sidewalks, patios, a really inexpensive way to make your outside look so much better. I usually always tell people to paint their front door almost whether they need it or not, because that is the first thing the eye catches. If you walk up to a real shiny door, I mean, it just gives you a buyer a really feel good as they walk in. It's just a great first impression. Also gives the home a lot of curb appeal. So those are things right there, just right off the bat. I can tell you all those things right there. If your home remotely needs them, you will get more money for your home than the price you spend on doing those things. I get it all the time on carpet. Hey, John, I know we need new carpet, but gosh, whoever buys it, I know they're going to pick out their color. And John, can we just do it on allowance? No, we can, but it's going to cost you money. Because two things: one, people can't see an allowance, and number two is they don't want to go through the pain and anguish of changing it. And number three, which I just thought of, a lot of people have enough money to get into the home, but they don't have a lot of extra to spend on all this stuff. So if your home is at an as-is type thing, you are cutting out a lot of the market, because they simply just don't even have, even if it's a pretty good deal, they don't have the extra cash to do the work. So, but people will pay a premium. I promise you I'll pay a premium for something I get to walk into and I don't have to do a thing. That they will pay a premium for that. So keep that in mind whenever you're getting a home for sale. These are some upgrades that people ask me about quite often. And hey, Vicky Wheat, thank you, John Jones, for the shout out. Well, it's the truth. You do a great job, and her phone number's right up there. She is unbelievable. I've probably referred her to 100 clients, and I've never had one negative, not one negative, and that's hard to do because, unfortunately, there's a lot of nuts out there, and sometimes you can't make anybody happy. Somehow she makes them happy too, or maybe she just hadn't gotten the right nut. These are upgrades that people ask me about all the time. And it's a little tough to answer. Hardwood. Should we add granite? Should we renovate the kitchen? Should we update the, whatever. A lot of time that depends on the area you're living in. If you're in an area, let's say like Riverview, Regency, or Riverview in particular, where homes are 40, 50 years old, probably older than that, time flies, and the market is doing that in your area, and that's kind of become the standard, then it's probably a good idea to invest in it. But if you're in a subdivision where nobody's updating their kitchens because of the time frame, or it's just not a subdivision where that happens, then you got to be careful. You can do it if you want it and you enjoy it, but you may not get your money back out of it. So you have to be real careful. Kitchens especially, if you're going to move in a year or so and you want to update a kitchen, there's a lot of smart little things to do that can save you a lot of money. Like right now, painted cabinets are big, okay? Well, it's a lot cheaper to paint a cabinet than to tear all those cabinets out of there and bring in new cabinets from wherever you go buy them. I mean, it will save you a ton of money. Granite has become very inexpensive, and granite adds a lot of pop. So you paint your cabinets, you add granite, do a backsplash. You can do that for under maybe $5,000, and it changes the whole look of your kitchen. New appliances aren't crazy expensive. Those are things, everybody's going stainless now, so you can swap some of those out, But it just depends on where you live and when you're moving and all that kind of stuff. If you say, John, and we'll get into this, personal value items. Tom Krager has a question. The Craigs, Stevie Zavisa says, LOL. Hey, Stevie, I want you to heal up, man. Stevie just had some surgery. He's my buddy, and I just hope and pray he gets to feeling better. If I'm selling my home, what prep work do I need to do to get it ready to sell? Tom, it's a great question, and I just went over about the top 10 things, and so I want you to go back and watch the first 10 minutes of this show tonight, and it'll tell you everything. I don't want to bore these people that have been on there, but that's a great question. Brent Voss, should Bill Wilson put the skirting on his trailer home? See, Brent, we're trying to keep it serious today, man. Most people want to put their homes on the market in the spring, but what are the advantages in selling? What are the advantages to selling in the winter? Great point. Right now, you got a lot of people out there sitting on the fence, ready to put their home on the market in April or May. Those are great months. There's a ton of buyers in the market that month. But the problem we're having right now, we don't have a lot of inventory. So if you can beat some of those guys, and we do have a lot of buyers. We have more buyers than we have sellers right now. So a lot of times we'll go ahead and put your home on the market right now. You're beating the competition. So yeah, you can wait till the spring, but guess what? There's going to be a lot more competition, a lot more people fighting over those same buyers. So there is an advantage to putting the home on the market right now in the dead of winter. Tom Krager, thank you. Brad Faulkner, what's up, dude? Brad Faulkner, man, I saw your pictures on Facebook. You're looking good, brother. I'm going to have to call you and get your recipe for your workouts. Brian Hargrove, how strong is the market for smaller homes in Murfreesboro, less than 15? Brian, call us, 867-3020. Very good. That market's incredibly strong. Let's talk about big ticket items. Pools. You go out and you spend $50,000 on a pool. Landscape it, fence it, 50 grand. You can spend 100 if you want. You can spend whatever you want on a pool. What are you going to get back? An appraiser told me a couple years ago, and I tend to believe this is a good rule of thumb, you'll get about a third of it back if you sell it, okay? But let's think about a pool for a second. Why do you buy a pool? You buy it because fun. You have kids. We'll go, a family of 6, to Disney World for 1 week of our lives, and we'll spend, it's embarrassing to say, $10,000, okay? And we got 1 week. And we had a great time, and we don't even complain about it. And we really don't have anything to show for it, except maybe a couple of Mickey hats, right? But when you do a pool, and you're going to live there another 10 years, and your kids are going to get to use that pool, and the memories you're going to have, and the kids get to come over to your house all the time, and you can't put a price on it. We're never going to get rich on selling our homes, guys. We're always going to have to live somewhere. We don't want to do anything that's crazy, obviously, and it all depends on, our circumstances, our personal finances and circumstances. But sometimes I think, we live in our homes. It's our sanctuary. Do what you want. I mean, within reason, be smart, and enjoy it. So if you want to do a detached garage, let's say you go out and do a beautiful detached garage because you want a place to work. You want a place to work on your woodworking, or, make fishing lures or whatever it is, and it costs $30,000. And you say, John, how much can you get me for that detached tomorrow? I'm not going to get you $30,000. I might get you 15 extra, but I won't get you 30. But why are you doing it? Does it make sense for you? Hey, Rachel. So anyway, Brant Balls, how good is the market value to sell your
House
in Rockville Meadows? I think Rockville Meadows is very strong, Brant. I think it's a good market right now. Anything under 300 right now is pretty strong. Really, probably anything under 350 is pretty decent.
In the 2,800 square foot range.
It's good, Brant. It's good. If you need an evaluation, just, what our number is, 867-3020. Or hit me up on Facebook messaging. Personal value items that you're never probably going to get all your money out of. Pools. Extensive landscaping. I had a guy one time, we're sitting there, and I told him I thought his home was worth X. He told me it was worth Y, and I said, well, why do you think it's worth Y? He said, well, John, I got $30,000 worth of landscaping out there. I said, it's beautiful, and it will help you sell your home, perhaps. But I'm not going to get you that money for all those boxwoods and pine trees. I'm not going to do it. It won't happen. In fact, some would argue if you do too much landscaping, it scares the living daylights out of a buyer because now they've got to maintain it. But you're not going to get all your money out of it. Detached garages, media rooms. You go up and spend $20,000 on all this audio, visual, and all this stuff and all that. Enjoy the heck out of it. But I'm not going to get you $20,000 for all that stuff. It'll help you sell your home, and I'll get you some value for it, but it won't be $20,000 because it's a personal thing. Thank you, Vicki. Michael Harrison, a colleague out of Hendersonville, great realtor. If you're ever buying anything in Hendersonville, Tennessee, this guy is the bomb. Michael Harrison. He does a great job. I saw where you just got some nice awards on Facebook. Congratulations, Michael. So how much time we got left?
Vicki Horton says, I bet you do personal assessments for someone who would like to buy or sell.
Hey, Vicki, thanks. Yes, we do. We do offer a part of our package is if you list a home with John Jones Real Estate, we give you, if needed, a 1 hour free consultation with a home consultant, a home stager consultant to come out there. You can hire her for extra if you need her. She can do a lot more than that, but at least a good hour of direction and things you can do and tips. Decluttering, staging, all that good stuff. All that stuff helps you sell your home. It's amazing how much money you can make on a home with 1 or 2 good weekends of getting after it and getting the home ready. I know some people get offended when I come out there and I tell them they have to take down little Johnny's picture from first grade to whenever he got his master's degree up and down that staircase. I can tell they get upset. John, what do we need to do? We need to take down little Johnny. And they just start pouting. Hey guys, it's not about that they're not going to like little Johnny. They don't want to see little Johnny. They want to see themselves in that home. So the more you have it personalized, the more it hurts you. It distracts them from them identifying that home as their home. So it's nothing personal at all. Hey, we would not go out and sell our car, okay, with a bunch of fuzzy dice and Bud and Sissy on the back of it, or Rough Country on the front of it, and all this stuff, or nasty. And you would get it cleaned up. You would take that stuff off. You would depersonalize it, and you would make it as sterile and as clean and as new car-like as you possibly could. It is the exact same thing on a house. The exact same thing. The only problem is it costs us a little more on a house. We get a little more sentimental about our house. There's a little more work involved on our house. And that's where it lies. Usually the problems I have with getting people to do it is they don't want to do the work and they don't want to spend a little money. They don't want to do the work and they don't want to spend a little money. But, I mean, anything in life we're doing takes a little work. It takes a little pain. But a little pain usually works very good for you. It's kind of like working out. You go in there and you get a lot of pain, you're going to look better. But you got to go through the pain to get to it. I wish I could tell you. I wish I could give you a magic pill. Penny Campbell, what's up? Penny with First Bank Mortgage. Alice Parton, hello. Jennifer Surprise, hello. McCampbell, if you only have $5,000 to put in renovations before you list your home, what would you spend it on? Carpet paint, paint carpet, carpet paint, and clean it up. I mean, you want to clean it. I've had people that have done what I've asked them to do, and a lot of people are great about it. In fact, HGTV and Flip This House, Flip That House has been one of the best tools for a realtor because it's to let the public see the transformation that can happen. And I know a lot of those shows are probably a little bit staged, a little corny. Did they really make that much on the house? Probably not. But it does give you a great visual of what a house look like and what it can look like. And that has probably helped me with the challenges of getting homeowners to do this, to make themselves more money than any other thing that I can think of. 15 years ago, it was not as easy to get people to do these things as it is today. And I attribute that all to those television shows. All right, we still got 35 viewers.
We got like 7 minutes.
All right, 7 minutes. I'm going to do a trivia question. I want to see if you're ready. I don't know if Roy, our winners last week were Roy Frazier and who was the other winner? It escapes me right now. But here is the question. First answer that comes up on that screen is the winner. $25 to, where am I sending them? Chop House.
Yeah, it's Heather.
Oh, Heather Guthrie.
Yeah.
Sorry, Heather. All right, here's the question. It's a slam dunk, easy question. In Rutherford County, who is our largest employer? Rutherford County, the whole county. Largest employer. Who employs the most people?
Come on, people.
I'm waiting. I'm waiting. $25 on the line. Take a stab at it.
Can I stab at it?
No, you can't stab at it.
It was in, so I was going to say.
Hey, no,
Is that-
not yet. Not of people in Rutherford County.
No, that's wrong.
Nissan, Amazon, Nissan is the winner, Jimmy. Jimmy, you can't win this thing. Who's the next Nissan? Angie Mullins. Angie Mullins. You got it, Angie. You are the winner. Hey, Angie, direct message me your address and everything, and we'll send that out to you. Thank you. I'm not giving you Dibble. I'll buy you lunch today, buddy, but I'm not giving you. He works here, by the way. He's not qualified to win. I should have pointed that out. I think he knows that. But anyway, guys, this has been a great segment. We got a few more minutes left. Any more questions? Brant, you were a little late on Nissan.
Where do you see the city growing the most from Bill Wilson?
Where do I see the city growing the most? I see it growing 99, 96. Blackman, Rockville. That's where it's going. That's where the sewer is. You got to have sewer. You got to have sewer going that direction to really get good growth. You can still grow without sewer. You can do subdivisions, step systems, septic tank subdivisions, but in Rutherford County, where our soils are very limited, you know, sewer is very, and commercial, almost any commercial requires sewer. That's where the land is. I mean, that's where, you know, it's natural. When you go north towards Walter Hill, you got to deal with the river. You got to deal with some things there that kind of prevent you from going easily. It'd be expensive, more expensive. Las Casas area is the furthest away from the interstate. We're kind of dictated. The interstate is a big deal, for lack of a better term, because a lot of our growth is based on what happens north of us in Nashville. A lot of these folks have to get on the interstate every day. If you are one of those folks, or if you have ever been going to the airport at 7 in the morning, you get my drift. Emily Bishop. Emily, that's one. Oh, Emily's got a great house about to come on the market on Jones Boulevard. Beautiful home, about 1,800 square feet, maybe 2,000, all brick, totally redone, rancher. Let me know if you're interested. We'll have that on the market maybe by the weekend. Stevie Z, very informative. Thank you, John Jones. Jeff Schott, what's up, big Jeff Schott out there? Any more questions? Any more things we can do? Like I said, today we talked about the smart things to do your home, put it on the market, good investments, bad investments, personal investments.
I've seen a question. There's a question.
There's a question.
What about Eagleville?
Eagleville's interesting, man. You know, Eagleville's just now gotten sewer in the city, which that's going to be kind of interesting because Eagleville's kind of where it's located. It's not far from Franklin. And Eagleville is kind of a neat place. Good little school out there. Principal out there is a guy named Billy Tollett. We went to college together. He has excellent reputation, and people seem to love it. So I don't know how much supply is going to be put out in Eagleville, but I do think that when you build a home out in Eagleville, I have a friend who builds a lot of spec homes out in Eagleville, kind of scattered, and he sells them like that. So I think there's a demand for Eagleville. I just don't know what the infrastructure will allow, but I do think it's a very attractive spot because of its location. We got about a minute and a half left. Tara Clancy Cole, how you doing? Mark Gritzenbach, a past client and good friend. Hey, Mark. Any other questions about what to do to your home? What's a good investment? What's a bad investment? I think I've covered everything I wanted to cover. Paint and carpet, you can never go wrong, guys. I can't sell a house with nasty carpet. It's just impossible. I don't care what kind of allowance I give it. Brant Boss, I need to talk to you about buying some land in that area. Awesome, dude. We can do it. DM me. DM me your number, Brant. My old little league buddy. Played for the Senators. Won 2 championships in 4 years. Brant had a big brother that could throw the ball very hard. Scared me.
How do you comp a log home?
Log homes are tough to comp. We got about 70 seconds or 50 seconds. A lot of lenders are scared of log homes for whatever reason. They usually want to, depending on the lender, they usually want to see other log home comps, and it can be tough. It can be a challenge. I saw one not too long ago where the lender wasn't that hard on it. Farm credit is a great place. If you have land, Farm Credit Services, if you have acreage, it's a great place to go for your loan. Braves beat the Senators. LOL. Oh, Shay, no, I don't believe. Not any championship they didn't, buddy.
Make a call out that we'll be doing it at 10 a.m. next week.
We'll be doing it next week at 10 a.m. and subject will be determined.
Thanks for joining us.
You're out. 0-0.
Good
That's
job.
pretty good, wasn't
That was
it?
good.